out of nowhere, the trailer for Scary Movie 6 came out. So I knew the Wayans brothers, Shawn, Marlon, and Keenen, were working on it. And I knew Anna Faris was coming back and Regina Hall was coming back. So I knew that was going on, but I didn't hear nothing about it. And then this trailer pops up, and it looks great. Ghostface is back as always. So Ghostface is in there. Megan's in there. They do a parody of Get Out. They have Art the Clown in there. Art the Clown for the Terrifier series. There's an Art the Clown parody in there. There's something about the substance that's in there. I think overall, it looks like a very entertaining film. The key is, however, can it appeal to Gen Z? Because if we go back to those first Scary Movie films, because the Wayans was part of Scary Movie 1 and 2, I get into why they left after the second movie in a second. But if you first watch those first two, that was basically for millennials and Gen X. Now everybody's older. It's interesting to see if Gen X, us graybeards, will be showing up for Scary Movie 6. But really, the millennials, it's going to be interesting if the millennials will come back to see Scary Movie 6. And now the millennials got their kids, and their kids are Gen Z. So we'll see if Gen Z will embrace the films just like Gen X and the millennials do. I think they can. I think if it works at all, I think Scary Movie 7 will be around soon enough. I think one of the ties, though, I really enjoy seeing Anna Faris and Regina Hall back. For the life of me, I never understood why those two never did their own movie, not Scary Movie, but their own film or TV project, because they have great chemistry with each other. They have Cindy Williams, Penny Marshall, Laverne and Shirley energy. Like for that first movie, I think that was the very first movie for Faris, and Regina had done some films like The Best Man. She had some smaller roles, but this was like her first leading role, and they were magic together. So I hope even no matter if Scary Movie 6 does well or not, I'm hoping that Anna Faris and Regina Hall could just do either their own movie together or their own Netflix or Hulu project, because I think there's a lot of untapped creativity within those two. So we'll see how that works out. So let me go back to the Wayans. So the Wayans did Scary Movie 1, which was fantastic. They did Scary Movie 2, which is fantastic. So they went back, I think Keenen went back to the Weinstein company, Miramax, and they just want to negotiate the contract because they made a lot of money for them. And the Weinsteins said, kick rocks, we're stealing the project. So they stole the project from them, kicked the Wayans out. They brought in one of the creators of the Airplane movies. And I love Airplane. Airplane is one of my favorite comedies ever. But still, they brought in one of the guys who created Airplane, and then he was in charge of the Scary Movie franchise, which was fine, but you just kind of miss what Shawn and Marlon and what Keenen did. And then after that, Shawn, Marlon, and Keenen, that's when they did White Chicks, and that's when they did Little Man with the lovely Kerry Washington. Sidebar, I love Kerry Washington. I always love Kerry Washington, but she's like a really underrated comedic actress. She had Little Man with the Wayans, and then she had I Think I Love My Wife with Chris Rock. Oh, she's fantastic in that. And then she had Peoples with my man Craig Robinson. So I mean, Kerry Washington is actually an underrated comedic actress, but I digress. And I do think the one thing I am thankful for, because I mentioned Shawn, Marlon, and Keenen again. This is the first movie they've done since Little Man. And I think for Marlon, I think this is a fantastic thing because he's been doing stuff on his own. He's been making movies on his own. I think Shawn was kind of semi-retired. I can't remember, like Shawn was doing, I think, stand-up and doing some DJing. And I think with the big brother Damon Wayans, I think Damon, his show Papa's House, which was underrated. I like Papa's House, but they canceled that to put on DMV. But I think Shawn was like one of the writers on Papa's House. So I think when Marlon was making his films, I think he missed Shawn. I think Shawn was his sounding board. I think Shawn is basically his best friend. So Marlon was making movies and doing okay, but I think he missed his connective creative energy with Shawn. And Keenen is just, it's Keenen and it's Damon, right? They're the two big older brothers, but Keenen is just the architect of all of it. And I think Marlon really missed the Keenen element, where Keenen's like, we can do this joke or we can do something else. And I think Keenen was just like the perfect fit for those two, because I think Shawn and Marlon always had a lot of energy and a lot of creativity, but I think Keenen was the one that said, this joke works, this doesn't, let's try this. So the key is, though, does Keenen still have his fastball? Because Keenen, from the very beginning, with the Hollywood Shuffle of Robert Townsend, And him and Robert Townsend did Partners in Crime on HBO. And Keenen on his own did I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and he did In Living Color. Keenen has always had a great eye for parody. But now, it's 2026. It's not the late 80s anymore. It's not the early 90s anymore. It's not even the 2000s anymore. So, but if Keenen still has that ear, that eye for parody, I think Scary Movie might work. But we have to see. If you watch it, we're watching Scary Movie, it's like, man, this thing is hilarious. I'm telling you, Scary Movie 7 will probably be out sooner than later. It might actually be out next year or the next year after. Now, I think Marlon said they might do White Chicks 2. So I think that might be in the oven, but we have to see. So if you guys watched the trailer for Scary Movie 6, what do you guys think? And what horror parody in the film, in the trailer, did you really like? Or is there a horror parody that you didn't see that you'd like to see in the movie?